Hello and welcome to another episode of MOREMITO Miracles. Hello, Greg. Today we have my friend Greg Eddles of a very long time, and it's a very special moment because Greg and I, we basically began in network marketing the same time. Hello, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello. Well, we probably both were probably into Amway, but way back in the day. But we, it's probably been, who knows. But anyways, we're here today, and it was interesting because we have been separated for quite some time in networking, but we've remained friends on Facebook. We had the chance to meet down many years ago. How many years ago? In Dallas, Texas, a long time ago, hanging out, and that was cool. But it's been fun to watch your journey as a professional gardener. I think that you're probably the best gardener of anyone I know, so I commend you for that. I see you perfecting the garden all the time, and now you're perfecting your health all the time, more now with things is what I'm noticing now, Greg. So welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So, Greg, you've been involved in health and wellness for quite some time. Can you share what your journey has been like leading up to this moment with your health and stuff?
We started back at Isogenics in the day, by the way. That's where we crossed paths.
There we go.
Yeah, I started doing gardening and stuff because we wanted to eat fresh food because lots of different issues. My wife was diagnosed with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and we really just needed to eat healthy and start moving in that direction. And that was like almost 20 years ago. So we've been gardening since then. And you know what? I'm 50. I'll be 51 in February. And even though we eat pretty good and we have good food and we store stuff and it's natural food that we eat, it just takes a lot out of you to live in this world. There's a lot of stuff assaulting us. We've got bioengineered foods on the shelves. We've got GMO stuff. We've got pesticides and herbicides and everything coming into the food. So we need the best chance we can get to feel better. And I'm actually pretty excited that we started this in winter because we started in the middle of basically flu season, and we did get sick, but it was a lot shorter. And my wife was like, we might have had to go to the hospital if we didn't have the energy levels and that MOREMITO was doing. The mitochondrial support is fascinating. And I've tried other stuff too before, but MOREMITO is definitely almost instantaneous when you take it, and long-lasting, definitely better.
You know, it's interesting, Greg, because like you said, we met back in the Isogenics days, and yes, they make great products. There's a lot of great products out there, and from a business aspect, some of these companies, it's like $130, $150 a month on auto ship, or else your points flush and all this, but anyways, it's funny. I looked at two of my Isogenics multimillionaire friends today, and I was like, gosh, you guys are starting, even though you're having this great nutrition, I'm watching you guys age before my eyes. I don't know if these products are working. I think you're missing mitochondria enhancement. Hello.
Right.
It's like I just, you and I have been kind of jaded in the network marketing space. It's like we believe that we should be able to represent other companies, right? Whatever we, these companies are lucky to have great people like you and I on board, and all the other great network marketers out there and stuff. So, and it doesn't just take one product. Like I've got a call later on today with a lady with Protandim, for example, and it's just like Protandim. It's like there's a little bit more to life than just NRF2, whatever, So
people get laser focused on stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, wait, with MOREMITO though, how it's really helped me, since we started taking it, I definitely have more clarity of mind at work. I'm solo here at work.
Let's go over all the benefits that you've experienced. So
right.
Let's take this though from when you first came on it. How fast you noticed? Because I saw a difference from you, even though we're many states apart. I saw a huge difference. All of a sudden, you have a cockiness to you. I was like, oh, I like the new this new spicy Greg.
Dude, well, the first time I got MOREMITO, I took 4 milliliters of it because that's what it says on the bottle. You're like,
I still haven't even done that yet at all, believe it or not.
Dude, I felt like I was on crack, and I've never smoked crack. But if crack was a thing for me, I had energy straight up until midnight, and it wasn't really shaky caffeine energy. It was just real boom, solid energy, endurance all day long. That was the first day. But what I've noticed is I've got a lot of clarity of mind. I can think on my feet a lot faster. I'm sleeping better. I've been having issues sleeping a lot. Like I would get like 1.5 to 2 hours. Now I'm sleeping in blocks of like 3.5 to 4 hours.
I love the blocks. I love the blocks.
So
I get
great.
sleeping for 8 hours. I need to chop it up in at least 2 segments. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed I'm getting up in the middle of the night and I could just stay up because I've got energy, right? So I've had energy to go at work all day. My wife has said that we've got like a fuzz growing on my hair in my bald spot here.
I can definitely see that. Yeah, you definitely.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how well that goes. But I want to wait. But it's been flat bald, straight waxy, shiny bald for 20 years, and she's like, "Hey, there's fuzz on your head after like 2 weeks of taking."
I'm actually noticing my hair color. Someone asked me again if my hair color is changing, and honestly, I feel that there's less grays now. So, yeah,
I'm pretty blonde, so it's hard to tell. Let's see. Well, so yeah.
I dyed my hair in Brazil one time last year. My girlfriend at the time had me dye my hair in Brazil one time, and I was like, I looked like a Brazilian. I was like, no. So,
that's funny.
So gray is wisdom to me. Go ahead.
What else? So energy, endurance all through the day, clarity of mind. I'm sleeping better. I just generally feel better. By the time I get to the end of the day, last month or for years before, I'm like, I'm done. Like I like using cannabis, and it was the best thing that I had for a long time. And then I started taking this, and honestly, I get to the end of the day, and I want to go do something, and I'm not tired, and I don't need that relief, bowl of cannabis, right? I just want to go do something, and right. So I'm trying to get everybody in my family on board. My wife noticed a huge difference. She felt it brought us through that sickness a lot faster. And so I'm just sold, man. I just feel better.
Would you say that there's a libido enhancement with this product? Speaking of your wife,
I think I could see that maybe that is a side effect. Yeah, when you feel better and you're not tired, that's like libido enhancement. Period. Like you're like I don't have a headache.
Or the bedroom. Let's see.
Although I did take that Anavite stuff. And I took it at night, the colostrum, and it does a heavy metal cleanse. I woke up in the middle of the night with a headache, like stiff. I had to drink a bunch of water, and I didn't feel bad. Other than that, it felt like I was just. I've had cleanses before where like it makes you sort of foggy, and that can happen when you have a cleanse. So. Right. If you have that kind of thing when you're taking something like this that cleanses you, don't be total freaked out about it. Drink a lot of water.
But
help your body out.
Specifically about the MOREMITO, the MOREMITO has a cleansing aspect to it. You would say
absolutely,
definitely.
I've just noticed such a huge difference. I'm happy to just get up in the morning. I can't wait to take that stuff. I take the cream too. And I did what you said. Put a little squirt of the is it the Restore?
Yeah, I've actually decided to not do that. Now I'll tell you why in a second. But go ahead.
Right. Oh well, we've tried it a few times, but I've been using it. It feels great to rub on my head, and I've been rubbing it around the eyes.
Right.
And I would really like to see these spots disappear, but it took like years and decades for them to show up. So
yeah, you can't expect. I mean, even though I'm what 3 or 4 years young, less than you, and it's like it takes time. It's not an overnight process, obviously, and I think proper hydration. Also, side note we'll discuss later on. Adding colostrum to that really helps building the collagen and stuff like that in there too and stuff. So, yeah, I mean it's but there's a lot of room for improvement. Go ahead.
In my spine, at least, I'm feeling like honestly, I'm just feeling like my bones are more padded almost.
Like you have an armor almost about you, kind of type in a sense.
Yeah, like I'm not as like prone to inflammatory like flare-ups, like where it just doesn't get better. I've not taken ibuprofen for weeks, because I used to take that a lot too. So
Right.
I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but like when things are just starting to sort of regenerate themselves, good stuff happens,
So
right?
you've been on the product now for how many days?
Probably about 3 weeks full.
Okay, 3 weeks now. There you go. Very nice. Yeah, and I did see definitely a difference in you right away. Like you said, we've taken a lot of products in the past, a lot of products. How do you see this as different from a company like Isagenix? Let's throw them under the bus for a second.
It just works. It just works. And the other stuff sort of worked, maybe, but this just feels much different, much stronger, more, it's not, again, it's not like caffeine, shaky energy or anything like that. It's just solid, and I have it all day.
One thing about it also is like when you take supplements, they seem to be working with these other supplements before. It seems to be working. I mean, we're talking nanotechnology here, so there's a big difference. Just to clarify for everyone watching this, I take 4 of these, and so I can just I break this down into 4 of these, so I can kind of have them all around the house, and kind of they're not so difficult to carry around. They're actually cleaner this way also. But Amazon, 12 of them for like $7. What a deal! And they even have the measuring dealy bob on them. So just take a little. Right now. So yes, but what I'm explaining right now is that with other products like an Isagenix or something like this, they're not dealing with the nanotechnology, and therefore the results, they seem to work for quite a while, but then they go ahead and you just like, you kind of move on. Like how many times have we moved on from one product to another and stuff like this, like all through our entire lives?
I was starting to formulate towards, that's why I went towards the gardening thing, because I just want to get as much as I can directly out of the ground, out of the food that we're eating. But this has definitely been, especially like I said, through the winter, a really beneficial, because I mean, dude, almost without fail, winter comes and like we go down. I go down for a month.
One thing I've noticed also, I have my my little sunlight thing right here, my little light box, and when I had my mental health issues in the past here, being diagnosed with frontal temporal lobe dementia by the Amen Clinic, it was difficult for me to even take in sunlight, like to use it in my body properly. Okay, and I knew a difference because I could look at this light thing all day long, and it felt like it was absolutely doing nothing for me. And now when I have this light on, it's like my body immediately it absorbs sun. I mean, and this is proven also in studies. I don't need to. You can just type in sunlight and mitochondria and watch what happens. Increase your mitochondria. You're absorbing everything, whether it's digestively through the food that you're intaking, the gardening that you're taking, or else sunlight from exterior, even it going into our not just through our eyes, but through our skin, I'm certain. So Greg, would you say it has actually helped with the great food that you're taking? Like, are you feeling your body process food better? Getting better?
Oh, definitely. Although, like, if you do cleanse, sometimes that can be like kind of a rough spot, But generally, digestion has been like really solid for me in the last couple weeks, especially. I mean, yeah, if you always look at your digestion for signs of health, good old doctors would ask you, hey, what's your stuff look like? How's that going? A good doctor back in the day in the 70s and 80s, I remember them asking this question.
Good doctors nowadays anymore.
We are very energetic beings, though. We are electromagnetic beings, and we use the mitochondrial support is directly related to processing cellular level energy in the body, and so if you've got that source straightened out and like you ground once in a while, like put your bare feet on the ground, and literally it charges up your cells, your in your body, and makes them flow better. Like all of this stuff works really well together with diet and exercise. I do yoga. I try to do at least 2 to 3 times a week, to keep things.
How does that feel for you? Because how has this made you think about like physical health more, and like you being more motivated mentally to partake in physical exercise like yoga and such?
Aside from the cold temps out here, I really want to get out and walk more. I have the energy to do so. But for the yoga, it feels different now. Instead of trying to just, I feeling like I'm on the edge with yoga and just trying to barely maintain and fix myself by, doing the stretches and doing the flexes and the holds and things that keep your whole body like muscularly and tendons and all that stuff together, and instead of sedentary sitting, you know, and not doing anything,
Right.
couch potato, you know, 2 to 3 times a week of like 20 to 30 minutes of yoga and stretching, it feels better with what I'm doing. I'm not trying to just fix myself. I feel like I'm actually strengthening, like building something.
Yeah, because that is one thing is, you know, you get older, you know, going from your 20s to, you know, 40, you know, 47 and, you know, and beyond. It's like when we used to work out as kids, like we do push-ups and be like, oh yeah, it's starting to come in, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can stack some muscle, have some creatine, pop some, you know, some protein powder and stuff like this and start showing some results and, you know, do a few, some pull-ups and push. Remember what they'd have to do, make us do in high school, the fitness test, remember back in the day?
Fitness.
Yeah, the stretch and the push-ups and the, you know, and all this and stuff. But it just seems like where I'm going with this is that we have the ability to rebuild and actually push ourselves to make our muscles become bigger and stuff on this product and actually hold the results better.
Looking forward to that because I've been skinny all my life, raging metabolism all my life. So I eat it and it's gone. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying out that colostrum some more.
Yeah, it really stacks nicely with this, with my metabolic way and stuff like this. Greg, what do you think about, like, you've been in a lot of network marketing companies. Let's talk about the business aspect of this. You know, how do you feel about other network marketing companies compared to where this is at? What do you like about this opportunity?
I haven't studied that plan very much in depth, but what I would say is I don't like network marketing, period, but it was easy enough to get involved. The product shipped at a decent amount of time, like within 10 days it was here. And if you have a good product, these systems can work.
Right.
And so I decided to go ahead and do the business. I've been down this road long enough. I decided I'm just going to go ahead and sign up to do the business side of things because I want to do the business to make sure I get the product on a regular basis, yada, yada. It really helped, especially if you can show how it's helping you and other people are starting to see that. It's just really easy. You know, it makes sense to do the business side of it.
But your heart is always, you know, whether educating people, I see you educating a lot of people about gardening and stuff like this. Like you have a caring heart to help other people live better lives also.
Yeah, I feel better. I want other people to feel better. It really is that much better. Seriously, I feel I can see it in my own face.
Yeah.
I don't look just exhausted. The under my eyes is less.
Yeah, that is true. That is true for sure. Most definitely.
That's only in 3 weeks. I'm hoping that these lines might lessen up a little bit, but they will. I don't know. They're kind of sexy, you know, 50-year-old.
It makes it look sophisticated. Yeah. I got the 2 happy ones. I get like that.
Yeah, if I could get rid of these spots, though, I'd be a lot happier. I wouldn't care about the line.
Well, you know, I'm getting involved in a little bit of frequency, just side note and stuff like this, because I kind of have a little sun damage right here, and I want to fix that. And I don't think there's any hope for my dimple. I guess this is my signature, so it is what I don't know. It's just like my good side, my dimple side, where sometimes it just depends the angle, you know. So, whatever. So anyways, that is awesome. Man, I'm just really glad that we have the chance to, you know, every time we speak, it's good news and uplifting, especially, you know, and the more we share this opportunity with other people, enhance people's lives, we're surrounded by even more and more good news. So every single day becomes even more of a blessing. It's like there's truly not enough hours in a day. So Greg, you would say that this has added how much more hours of energy to your day?
Oh man, I can hardly go to sleep. And it's not because I'm not tired, it's because I just have a natural energy.
Right.
So
2 hours extra, like were you really actually able to do more work?
Well, I normally get down at like 5, 6, and I would get home and I'd be like smoking some cannabis and then calling it a night and maybe going gaming for a while. Now I'll get home. We're doing some dinner. We might smoke a little. I'll do some gaming. They're watching TV. I'm up until midnight for sure. I was going to bed at like easily like 8, 9, 10. And now, so I'd say at least 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours more probably my day.
Golly, so I like to use this analogy. I'm going to say 2.5 hours because some people say 3, others say 2. You're saying potentially 4, and it can be that crazy. I watched one guy, my friend Eric Nurm. He was up for 50 hours, bro, because he had a launch, and I was like, oh my goodness. And he was purposely doing that because you can sleep fine on the MOREMITO, right? You can sleep. It's not if you want to. And but if you want to stay up, you could actually just keep going and you know without even changing the schedule of how often you're taking this stuff at all. Okay, but you know I love to do this, Matt. It's the third time I've done this today about this example, but I want to show how much this makes sense to take and how much sense more so than instead of not taking it. So I'm going to whip out my little trusty calculator here. Now let's say that you were adding 2.5 hours a day of extra, like where you could actually be productive if you chose to be productive and make money. And let's say that inflation minimum wage like $20 an hour nowadays. We'll say at $20 an hour kind of type situation. I'm just joking, but you know, average. Let's say we take so that's 50 in 2.5 hours. That's $50 per day. You follow me so far? In extra productivity in funds. Okay, so if we take 50, let's just do, get the calculator here. We go 50 times 30 days in a month. It's $1,500 right there. Okay, the cost to go ahead and just take this bottle right here is $100. So in 1 month, you could pay for a whole month's supply with that extra energy of $1,200. We'll say with $300 left in the pocket for a few sushi dinners. Okay, so if we go ahead and we take the 15 and we times that by 12 right there, it's $18,000 of extra at 2.5 hours of extra energy per day. Let's go ahead and take out the cost of the product, which is $1,200 for the year. You're profiting $16,800. Okay. I mean, we're not even looking at this like if you're an attorney billing $200 or if you're billing $50 an hour or something like this. We're talking $20 here. Okay, like I know you. I mean, it's so $16,800. That's after your product is paid for without telling anyone about this opportunity. Do you think that math equation is pretty basic and is pretty realistic, Greg?
It's pretty interesting. I like the way you put that. I would couch it this way. I have so much more energy. I don't even care if I'm getting paid for it. Right? I feel good.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel good. And that is the difference between not taking this and taking this. Right. And it's not like it's not a drug. You know, it's natural stuff that your body needs, like really needs to do a good job at giving you the energy at the cellular level.
I have so much fun, Greg, in life that I think I'd have to bill out at having fun at least $350 an hour. So that's $700. You see what I'm saying? So let's say it's $800 a day. I'm just joking, but you know how it just shows how short life is and how priceless this extra amount of energy is.
If you want to build out a foundation for yourself, it starts with feeling good enough to do stuff. And so I would encourage you, if you're watching for Ryan or for me, guys, contact us and get your stuff. And I plunked $600 down on a couple companies, but for 2 people, it'd be about what, $300 for the MOREMITO package.
Well, I mean, for 2 people,
I got 2 bottles of is it the Restore?
Yeah, you got 2 bottles of Restore, right?
And then 1 thing of Rejuvenate. I think it was $235 for that.
Yep. For
that was starting up as a business. That was starting up as a business, and I was like, you might as well just go full on. And I'm like about 3/4 of the way through that first bottle and about halfway through that first canister.
How do you like that canister? You dig the canister?
I love that stuff. It smells good, and it feels nice when I put it on.
You know what I chose to do actually this time? I just put like a little less. There's, you know, the stuff that you squirt inside there if you want to make it stronger. But since I use this on the face, I found I just don't really care for my face dyeing a certain color so much. You know, I notice. So what I'll do sometimes if I want to take it up a notch, I'll just take a half an ml like this right here and put it in my hand, you know, separate whenever I want, you know, maybe at night when I go to sleep or something like that. It just works. So we're also, you know, talking about using it.
Put it in your eyes. It seems like it might sting in your eyes.
I've used this in my eyes and my vision is like seriously. Oh, this stuff is phenomenal. Have you tried this in your eyes yet?
Not in my eyes, no.
You know, yes. So put this.
I don't sketch about putting things in my eyes, but when it gets on your eyelid, you're like, I don't know if I should have that in my eye.
it's okay. It's okay. You just try it. Like, because I know you wear glasses sometimes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it will, like when I had my dementia symptoms, one thing I had, Greg, I think I shared with you this earlier on, is I couldn't look you in the eyes. I could look you in the eye, and I would go back and forth. Like, even if you're right here next to me, I'd be like looking at you, like going like this. Can you see my eyes? I'm just curious. Or is it,
Yeah, I can see him going back and forth. Yeah.
just, but from here, it's just like, I'm only going back, but you can tell a difference is how sensitive, whereas I'm looking back and forth in your eyes right now. Yeah. You can see that. Okay. So on this, it's like, I can now look you in the eyes. That was a symptom. It put me on a Zoom call with all these different faces. I just had a Zoom call with 45 people here before hopping on with you. And I was the main speaker, and I'm talking to 45 people, and I could absorb every single person's energy and assimilate the whole entire, reality, life, and see and understand the whole entire thing, running loops around pretty much everyone in that group,
Even a crappy day with more mito energy is better than a day without it. Like,
Exactly.
it's truly amazing. So
where do you see the science going? I mean, let's talk about some of the recent press releases, Greg. Maybe go on for another 10 minutes here total. And we have, let's do it. Let's do the sexy look. Okay, so so anyways, in the news in the last 2 weeks, two impressive articles have really come out that really caught my attention. Actually, a third one also on people that were trying to have babies but they couldn't. It was actually because of dysfunctional mitochondria. The mitochondria will actually shut down the body if it feels like it was not the right time to have a baby. So our mitochondria controls a lot in our lives. And we may point the finger elsewhere, but it's the mitochondria in the back going, no, we got control of this situation, So also two other articles that really impressed me, I knew it was a matter of time, was number one, this one was about 2.5 weeks ago, University of California published a study about how people with low mitochondria had suicidal thinking, right? You saw this, okay? Did you see this?
I think I might have seen the reference to the article, but I haven't read it.
So they were actually able to take a look at the biomarkers of the blood and notice where when people had low mitochondria, they were actually having suicidal thoughts. Okay, this is amazing. So you look at what is the common side effects in these antidepressants, quote, antidepressants that have been around since 1950 is suicidal thoughts. This is a side effect, right? Correct? In a lot of these antidepressants may cause suicidal thinking. It is.
It's weird stuff. Pharmaceuticals suck. Let's just put it that way.
Right. Yeah. So what's interesting is if you doing the research, all these pharmaceutical drugs, they lower the mitochondria. So they're leading to a state of mind where you actually have stinking thinking thoughts to that extent. Okay. So what's interesting about this is that, so these are not antidepressants. They're actually depressing the mitochondria. It's just as I said in my last other video earlier on today, they're flipping the script, just like an attorney would in court, calling it just like when people talk about conspiracies, but no, it's actually true talk on something sensitive, and they're trying to persuade you and convolute it. You see what I'm saying?
It feels more like a chemical pharmaceutical lobotomy to those who take the pharmaceutical SSRIs, reuptake inhibitors.
How many people are on these, Greg? I mean, what percentage of you think of people that we know are like, oh, you take your Wellbutrin?
It's at least half, because when I have a conversation with people about SSRI and some of the other stuff that I take that's just basic stuff like for your brain chemistry, 5-hydroxytryptophan produces serotonin when you take it. And L-tyrosine produces dopamine when you take it. And when you're taking reuptake inhibitors, which are the pharmaceuticals, they're basically shutting off the cellular function to being input with serotonin and dopamine.
This is why I
call it controlling the level.
Yeah, this is why I call it like stop-go lights. It's like traffic lights. You stop-go, serotonin reuptake. Block, serotonin block, dopamine block, that's what these drugs do.
So if you get off the SSRIs and we take those other two things I just said, it floods your cells with both of those things, dopamine and serotonin, which are your primary brain chemicals.
But most important, what we're proposing here, in my work with University of Washington here is to see how 5 mitochondria offices here, which is amazing, where I graduated in 2001, just right up, 15 minutes up the road, tops from my home here. Is that everyone has low mitochondria. Cell phones lower our mitochondria. The Wi-Fi is lower mitochondria. Then we can discuss what just came out in the news yesterday, which I was like, yes, home run. Psh, everyone needs the product. It only further emphasizes Grand Slam, is the fact that long haul COVID, people have long haul COVID, like the brain fuzziness and stuff like this. I have it right here. Let me just show it just right here on, just because it's such a beautiful, this is so funny. You know, I made a little funny thing about this. You know, here we go. Let's just, a study identifies mitochondria.
Well, are you saying, let me interrupt you. Are you saying that the pharmaceuticals also cause a problem with energy production in mitochondria?
Well, that is already documented. I'm not saying it.
The reason I'm asking is because my mother, like, I got her taking MOREMITO, and she's like, I don't feel that really much of a difference. And I'm
well,
like,
yeah, so that can be because she's probably on prescription drugs, you know. We're not doctors.
yeah, they sort of like lobotomize you to a degree as far as how much you're depressing or not depressing, or not doing anything, because there's no flow of chemicals happening.
I mean, and that's why I tell people, you know, stay away from sugary drinks when you're taking this product, because sugary drinks like a Coca-Cola, for example, is giving you a lobotomy. It is disconnecting the electrical circuitry and just kind of doling it all down. You know, it's like you drink like a Coke, you all of a sudden you don't. I mean, fighter pilots, for example, came and drink Coca-Cola and go fly a jet. They don't, from what I understand, you know, so very interesting, you know, so, but so much lowers our mitochondria, become more sensitive, you know, arguments and stuff like this. You know, it's just, so yeah.
Well, you're not feeling good because you don't have any energy. I mean, this all makes sense at a basic level.
You know, it's like if you say, oh gosh, I just had an argument with someone, I'm just like wiped out for the rest of the day, right? It's because they just knocked out your mitochondria, zoom, all the done. It's like, it's not just your energy, like a caffeine high. Okay, and I know we're kind of talking fast here, and because we want to be entertaining and stuff like this and not wasting anyone's time, but it is knocking down the ATP energy in the cells when people are being drama queens around us, you know. So don't.
Coffee, you know, it doesn't really energize you. It just turns off the part of you that makes you feel tired.
Well, I dig that. You know, I try to always, I always have a hot beverage and I always have a cold beverage. So this both have caffeine in it right now at the moment, and this works for me. But, you know, it's, but before the adrenal fatigue could set in, if, you know, before mitochondria enhancement technology, I like to have 3 coffees a day, 2 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
I'm like 2 or 3, yeah, maybe.
But, you know, when you're supporting your system, someone that's not like supporting their mitochondria properly, they can actually, it can then cause adrenal fatigue for someone. They'll be like, and I've had adrenal fatigue before, and that's not fun at all right there. Like, we need our freaking adrenal glands, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So, so this
now when I take coffee, bro, I don't finish the whole coffee now, because I don't need to. I just like the taste now. I'm drinking half of it, like the coffee lasts me like more than half a day, and I'm just sipping on it because I like the taste.
Well, I like
it's not just for getting the energy levels up in the morning so I can go, you know, go on with my day. Yeah. I feel better already. Yeah, I can't believe how good I feel in the morning now.
Huh?
I can't believe how good I feel in the morning now after I take that stuff. So even before I take it, I feel better generally before I even take it in the morning. But then I take it and I'm like, within 3, 4, 5 minutes, I'm like,
one thing I want to point out, Greg, is also, do you have this by your bedside? Do you take it in the morning before you get up in the morning?
Well, I take it right as I get up, like it's in my room. Yeah. So
what I'd recommend is, you know, these little bottles are nice to have. You can go ahead and set one next to your nightstand, because I like to sit there and then, you know, if I wake up, we're talking about the sleep that's, you know, broken in like 3 hours sleeping, you know, you have enough some energy at like 2:30 in the morning, for example. Then I'll do a little work internationally with one eye open as I'm, you know, and then I'll go ahead and take a little bit more and just go back to sleep again, you know, and you know, until 5 in the morning, whatever, then get up and rock and roll. So the nice thing about it is, and what I recommend, I think this is very, very important, is one of my studies is the connection between consciousness and also mitochondria. Consciousness, God, consciousness, and mitochondria. These are, you know, top things in my life, you know, the top 3 right here, you know, family, friends, and all that good stuff. But I'm just speaking the connection between all 3 of these. you know, because they say the window to the soul is through the eyes. And sometimes people say to me, like, I mean, your eyes look more wide open right now than typical, you know, and that's good. You know,
I feel more wide awake.
Right? So it's freaking awesome. Well, Greg, is there anything else you want to touch base on with? But just let me finishing that thought. That circle right there, closing that circle loop is. I recommend that you do take this before you get out of bed in the morning, and that you like use it to really direct your consciousness towards, like, you know, your goals, and, you know, setting that intention in the day also, and where you want this as you're laying in bed with this under your tongue, like where you want this, if you want to go into your brain, increasing your intelligence, your emotional quote as well, or you want this going into different parts of your body for healing, or maybe even want this even going into your forehead lines, and just like really kind of project it. I really truly believe. So if someone's not having the results they're looking as well, sometimes like spiritually they're just cut off, and they're not igniting that consciousness of theirs into it to really activate things. So I'm just kind of curious about continuing that conversation with you.
Sometimes we need a push, and I knew the mitochondrial support was good. I'd taken a few previous products, but I think sometimes we need a push in that. And what I would say to everyone that's listening here is, it's really basic. I was not feeling good. Now I'm feeling good. If you're tired of feeling like crap, then try this. Don't balk at the money, because you'll spend the money on something else stupid. We all do. We spend it on our vices and stupid things that make us feel bad. So just justify it for yourself. Go plop down, you know, $150 or whatever it is for your health, for your nutrition, for your mindset, so that you feel better, and you'll notice the difference within immediately, but even more so within weeks. You'll notice that you have more energy, and you probably want to do more things. You'll probably start moving on those productive projects that you really want to do, that you never have the energy for because you're just so tired of working, blah, blah, blah.
Right, exactly.
Just do it because you want to feel better. And if it doesn't work, then you've spent $150 one time on something that doesn't work.
It's my back guarantee. There's no way that it can't. There's just no way it can't work for someone.
But you got to use it. I mean, it says 4 milliliters on the bottle, and that's a 30-day supply. So you could take 4 milliliters once a day and just be juiced, man, with great energy.
Tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and take 4 for the first time in your name.
Okay.
So I'm Greg. Take the 4 milliliters.
I thought it was quite a bit, actually, to take 4 milliliters, and that was the dosage for the day.
You hold it in your mouth? You hold it in your mouth?
Yeah, you put it under your tongue, and I'm like, okay, it's getting kind of full with 4 milliliters.
Well,
yeah, but no, it's great stuff. Great.
Back to you all cracked out, you know, so for sure, brother. Well, I'm glad for us to reconnect and be able to just really, enhance our friendship through good news and good word, and watching out for each other's health, and all the goodness that we can do together, and through our loved ones and our friends and their friends, and just this like ripple effect across the world when the world really needs us. They need more superhumans right now like us.
If any of you are listening right now and you want to do this, go to MOREMITO. We can get you signed up, and if we need any help, I'm sure, Ryan, you can help us, answer some questions.
And we're like coaches with this as well. So there's a little bit of coaching involved here. Like when people go through some kind of detox, well, you stay true to the game, you keep taking it, take more water, So Greg, thank you once again, brother, for this. I appreciate you, brother. Okay. Have a good one, buddy.
Till next time.
God bless you, brother.
We'll see you later. You hang up.
1 second.